What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Crushing Microstakes. We are going to play Russian Cash No Limit 25, the second. We have some open invoices here from some players, some revenge, and some crushing. And as always, make sure to check out our socials for YouTube, for Instagram. Drop a like if you like the video. Comment down below. That's the only way I can know to get some feedback on the videos to do better in the future. And yeah, we will jump right into it. I made up my mind a little bit about what crushing really means, especially the microstakes. And basically, the worse the player pool for all microstakes, the less fancy stuff you have to do. Your edge comes from the basics. If you do better at the basic stuff, where people are leaking, you will have a win rate and you will beat those games. So this is what you should focus on. On the high stakes, crushing means something else. Everyone is kind of solid in the basics, but a little bit uncomfortable when it comes to uncommon spots. So it's worth to study something that is maybe a little bit uncommon. But for you right now, the focus should be on just the basics, c-betting, free bet pots, pre-flop ranges, all that stuff. If you have that, the door is wide open to move up the ladder all the way from NL2 to NL50. And then some other work, I would say, starts there. Golden rule always for moving up, and we follow that for all our videos, is to not change anything when you move up just because you have that irrational fear of people suddenly playing better or suddenly know what you're doing. They don't trust that. And yeah, I will fire up some music and then we grind. Let me see. Some nice elevator music in the background. Love it. Love to see it. All right, let's see what we can do. Hopefully not binking a bad beat jackpot on this stake. A6, usually in GTO, not so much of a 3-bet, but I will just go for it. Pretty tough in big blinds, actually. Like, I'm trying to play with dollar amounts so that people can see some money flying instead of big blinds. And see how this goes. I might struggle a little bit with the sizings, but we will see. I'm so used to playing with big blinds. Basically, the goal is here to play solid pre-flop, play loose pre-flop because we have an edge post-flop most of the time. You don't have to do that if you play on yourself. Like between 22, I would say, and 25 in VWIP is the sweet spot. Because the more hands you play, the more problems or the more tough spots you get post-flop. And if you're a little bit uncertain about a lot of post-flop stuff, then tight is right. Queen Jack gives you fold. Ace 9 probably winning if everyone checks. I can beat 7 high and 6 high. I can do that. So here's the first uncommon thing. The big blind is tied with 13 VPIP, which is basically waiting for aces. So my queen 3 off, which is never an open, will always be an open, and I will make money. Because the time this guy needs to find a hand to defend, he will need some time for that. And if he finds a hand, I have stolen his big blind so many times that I don't care. You can go 2.5. In the late positions, but since I'm opening so many hands, I'm doing a little bit less to lose less when I get 3-bet. Allows me to play more hands, which I want. And people on these stakes are not really sensitive to open sizings. So if you go 3.5x or min raise, probably not a huge difference in terms of how they defend. Ace 7 off is kind of against the min raise fine. He's got a range bet, so easy call, and probably see a lot of rivers. That's good. I can block this, but I think since I'm splitting, my kicker doesn't play, I think bluff catching here is a little bit better. So I'm gonna check call. 7-5-9 on the left will be big bet or check. And if you have a hand like ace queen suited on 7-5-9 with 1 heart, you really hate getting check raised with 2 overcards and a backdoor flush draw. This is why these kind of hands are often checks. Better hand to bet would be something like pocket tens or some queen jack that folds out a little bit of his better Broadway reasons. So queen jack, good bet. Ace queen, not so great. doesn't accomplish much. And talking about accomplishing, I'm gonna bluff this. Talking about accomplishing is, this is the way I would think if I make any kind of bets, raises, c-bets. What do I want to accomplish? What is my goal here? What do I want my opponent to do, right? So if you have Queen Jack on a board like this, can you see? Yeah. I want him to fold something like King Queen, King Jack, Ace Jack, Ace Queen, and this is a big accomplishment. If I have Ace Queen, right, I don't want him to fold King Queen, right? So betting doesn't make sense. Very logical, in my opinion. And this helps me personally always, even if I don't really know what I'm doing or I'm a little bit lost in some spots, trying to think about what do we want to accomplish, right? What do you want to happen? Uh, 10-4, 27 VPIP, I'm gonna defend. Would consider folding against 15 VPIP. That's the flop you kind of want to see. Should be big bet or check for him. Very good sizing, I like this. My hand can do both, obviously. This sizing I think is a little bit under c-bet in terms of frequency. Probably people finding not enough bluffs for this. I'm gonna go with the raise. Right? He wants to have hands in the big sizing that are also bluffing. And I think people are struggling with this. Betting here again, setting up for a river jam, if we make our hand. Oh, that's unfortunate. Do I like this? I think, yeah, you could do that. You could implement that. People are probably not bluffing, but his goal is basically to charge my draws right now and also combo draws. So I kind of like that. You can go both ways on the flop. You can call, I would call hands that are a little bit weaker draws, like open-enders with no club, weaker flush draws, for example, because I consider the c-bet sizing to be on the stronger side and people missing bluffs. But if you have a combo draw, perfectly fine to have some raises. Very unfortunate that we get jammed on and can't realize our equity. Good play by our opponent for sure. Again, leave me a comment if you like what I'm doing, if you want more suggestions, critique, everything. I need everything, every single one of you. Betting my range, he never has threes or deuces, shouldn't have. This is all my flop. You can bet as small as you want. And also consider this a good bluffing spot. If you have a hand like, let's say, ace queen or queen jack, this is a good bluffing spot because he sits always on like maximum ace king, and I think that 4 bets pretty often, so it's basically king queen, king jack suited, and you want to block that with barreling. So queen jack probably a good bluff, ace queen a good bluff, depending on you whether you think he's calling those. And very, very easy river jam for us. What do we get called by? Ace 5 of spades, maybe? Yeah. Check raising the set here. And send the troops in! Maybe unfortunate river if he sits on king queen. We didn't really need the ace by any means. And Mr. Fisherman, pay us off. Yes, sir. Pretty loose flop call by him. Fair. Pocket sevens on the river We send the troops in. Get snap called by kings that he flatted pre and made a better set on the river. Fuck this guy. Fair enough. Deuces I would make dependent on the table. They all have like over 20 VPIP, so I'm gonna skip. If I see players with like 18, 19, 6, I would definitely open raise. Can't really do much with the king deuce. Yeah, I'm gonna open. 22 is tight. And it's also like blind versus blind. It's also about the VPIP, but it's mostly about the 3-bet, right? His 3-bet is 5, which is nothing. Because I'm opening so much trash that has to fold to a 3-bet. If he has a high 3-bet, then my opens get worse and worse and worse. Even if he VPIPs a lot and calls a lot and do less 3-betting, could even open a lot. Yeah. King 9 suited, flopping okay-ish. This board is all me. I have kings, queens, jacks, ace 10. He 4-bets a ton of that. So this is my board. I can bet my entire range. And if I get raised, I'm in a world of pain and probably just fold the flop. Bad turn. He has some flushes. My hand can't really value bet too much. He doesn't have hands like ace queen off with the ace of hearts or ace jack off with the ace of hearts that I could charge. So check, decide river. If he checks, I consider value betting. If he bets big, I'm probably just folding. Okay, let me see. King 10, kicker doesn't play. Ace king he doesn't have. Jack X he bets himself. He should have some stronger checks in his range, but I don't think people do that too often. If he snap calls, we're probably in bad shape. Yeah, basically he could bet this himself. Should bet this himself, quote unquote. But yeah. This is gonna be a 3-bet. That's too big. So basically, if we consider people c-betting, like betting all the strong hands on the river themselves, which I think is a very fair assumption, this gets us then value bet from like queen 10, ace queen type of hands. Maybe even some pocket 10s that don't believe. And if you are like debating betting thin for value or checking, I would always lean towards value betting, because the player pool tendency, they will always find calls, right? They will always find the hero call. They will always see kind of what you have, and they don't find bluffs. So go as thin as for value as possible. Sometimes you value bet, as I just did, into a better hand, but that's just fair, right? Also, he had ace jack offsuit, I believe. Where is the hand? Am I blind? Okay, first let's fold the king 9 against the small stack. Call or 4-bet the ace jack is both fine. He seems a little bit on the wild side, so I will call. Don't want to get jammed on. Beautiful. What are people checking back here? Probably pure air and not really super many strong hands. He also cannot have ace king with the ace of clubs. So I'm gonna go for a trap again. I don't think he has anything that can call down. Right? And now you can just basically try to get some hero calls with ace high. He never has an overpair anyway, and maybe some spew here and there. Just induce some spew. people are playing this pretty honest, right? The whole player pool is super honest, right? If they check those kind of boards, they always have nothing, or pretty often. If they see bet flops very, very big, they just always have a good hand. Easy as that. You can trust that. Trust that read and play accordingly. It's way more important than following some stupid GTO wizard solution. Because GTO wizard is always about perfect opponent against perfect opponent. I want to go back to the king 9 hand. He had ace jack off, yeah. So he called ace jack off to a 3-bet. Which is not ideal, obviously, but that means he has all the combos of ace queen off, maybe even queen 10 off, which makes our value bet pretty good. Even though we lost. Having top pair no kicker against an 18 VPip, that's the dream, right? That's the dream. Check check means he has nothing, or a jack or a queen, so I'm just gonna start charging and try to get the maximum. Here I'm gonna flop a 10 and make a set. Oh, 9 and 7, that's like pew, pew, left and right. Snap half pot, I'm just going to fold right away. If he has hands like ace queen, queen jack type of hands, he's gonna barrel us off. Also against queen jack, our 10 would be dead. And I think people, if they start bluffing this, they go for 1/3 instead of half. And yes, this is a GTO defend, yada yada yada, but it's not about that, right? It's about crushing. It's about crushing Microstakes. So we are playing street poker, and we trust our reads about the population. We're playing against humans, and this is what we need to do. Discipline. And again, according to VPIP, you don't have to play like 26, 27 or even higher VPIPs. Just play solid, follow the preflop ranges. We have very good preflop ranges for these stakes in our courses. Based on GTO, obviously, but tweaked by me and my colleague. 33, this is like a 50-50 thing, I wrote low, okay. And this is the only way I would use a randomizer, just to like not miss any 3-bets and sometimes just call with hands like this. Very hot spot if they skip c-bet. Hot spot for stabbing, because if they have a good hand, they usually just bet. I have 6 deuce, 3 deuce, I have 4-5. Could realize equity. If I want to overbet, we are pretty deep. Fair enough. Pretty hot spot for barreling. Ooh, we would have made it. People are not defending those checking ranges blind versus blind enough. And if you are just listening and sipping on your Coca-Cola or Spezi and not taking a note of that, you're stupid. So take a note of that spot. Try it and see how it goes. If they skip c-bets on all boards that are kinda good for you, and load the gun, you will get tons of folds. And if they check ace king 5, alarm bells should go off. Don't overstep, right? Because ace king 5, kinda their board. If they check this, they always have something. What is the sizing? I have to check. This is pretty small. This is usually a very strong range. But the price is kind of good to flop a set here. We're also a little bit deeper. Easy fold, obviously, if he bombs the queen, queen, jack, which is probably not that great. Nine head off basically is the threshold for like defend against button. Against 21 VPIP, I would probably just fold. Sixes, sixes, sixes. 20 VPIP I don't like. I think 3-betting is a little bit better here. Because I want to play that hand heads up, and the Gustav guy has probably all pocket pairs. You could also call, try to flop a set, but I think 3-betting just outperforms this. And now you can easily fold if he puts a stack in. Especially like late positions, cut off button, like open, cold call. Those pocket pairs like 6s, 7s, 8s and stuff play way better as a 3-bet than as a call. Would call probably something like 4s or something. Queen 8. Not gonna do anything. And as you can see, I'm also kind of tight in the big blind. So yeah. Threes with a big blind being AFK. This looks like an open to me. All right. Linus Yan. A mix of Linus Love and David Yan. Two very great players. Not sure if it's meant to be like that. Sounds good. 6-5-4. That's all me. I can have some leads here. But in your shoes, you probably haven't looked into that spot, like donking. The hands that you donk with are kind of obvious, but if you mess it up on turns and rivers because you haven't looked into it and don't know what you're doing, I would just play checks and not do it. You sacrifice a little bit of EV on paper by not having donks, but in reality and practice, you get that back, right? From people playing bad. And so on. And if you like gain a little bit of EV by playing like a complex leading strategy out of the big blind, and you mess it up later, you give it all back, maybe even more. So the goal is for your game plan, keep it fucking simple. I can't like stress this enough. Keep it simple, know what you're doing, and don't give a shit about complex solutions. Ace Queen 3 here should always bet. So if it goes check check here, always has something. Maybe a weak ace, kings, queen X, a pocket pair, right? Now if he has kings or a good queen, he's probably going to bet big. I don't want that because I have to call. So I'm gonna bet small myself, get a call from pocket tens, and if he snap calls king queen to that sizing, I save money. So value betting yourself, again, always outperforms checking and trying to bluff catch or rely on people value bet it for you. Queen 10. He folds something like 10-9, 10-6. Jack 10 on the turn, so my 10 is not ideal in terms of blockers, so it's a little bit relevant. So I don't think this is like the best bluff in the world. And here, do I give this up? Yeah, I think so. Lots of his 10-9 now have a pair. What? Excuse me, sir? Yeah. Not really sure about this float, but owned me, obviously. King 9 could open in some circumstances. Here against 20 VPIP. Aces fold to 5-bet. Yeah, then this is definitely an open. And again, this is a board where I don't want to c-bet a lot, because I should get check raised like crazy. Don't think it's happening in practice. I have a 6 as well, so just bet. As I said, not gonna happen in practice. Without a diamond, a little bit, but I don't think I can fold a gut shot yet with 2 overs. Am I on YouTube? Say hi. Folding the turn. Big sizings don't exist here. Hello, Mr. Losing Day from New Zealand, I think. Yeah, lots of good players from New Zealand. King, kind of good barrel card. I have complete air. I think this is fine. I'm massively over-bluffing this turn. But it's always like a good scare card for players. Since he knows me, he probably knows. So I have to be a little careful when it comes to the river. Five is really, really bad. Let's see. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Can't really do much here, I think. Also, he has like all 5x of hearts that continue on the turn that now make trips. Let me see. 200 big blinds is probably a fold. Queen 10 is fine. Oh, so deep. Yeah, his 3-bet is 4. So that's basically, and then middle position against under gun. This is probably like jacks plus ace king. So I don't think I want to invest any money with my pocket eights there. In the deck forehand, I think there's some better rivers for us to bluff. 5 is just absolutely super ass. You could bluff something like a queen and ace. Ooh, talking about a queen. This may be a little bit too big. Call. I'm gonna range bet this. Very small. Shouldn't really have ace king. He could have 6s, 3s. Gonna bet the small again, jam the river for value. If he has a flush, we just die like a man. Good luck, sir. Looks like a flush to me. It could also be 6s. So yeah, just get this in. What? Tiny bit of an overplay? Well, we take it. So yeah, this illustrates, I think, pretty clearly what you have to do, right? Play solid, don't do stupid shit, wait for donations, print money. Again, King Jack Deuce should be a range bet for him. If he doesn't, he always has kind of something. And his something is always like worse than my, basically always worse than my ace jack. So I'm just going to be greedy, bet twice for value. And let him call down his queen jack, his jack 10, his pocket 10s. The flush draw bricks, all straight draws brick. So be greedy. And if he has like king 5 suited, so be it. Value bet, value bet, value bet, value bet. Against a smaller stack, I could range bet this for a small sizing, but it would be a mistake because I have a good hand here. So I'm just going to size up a little bit. Just to extract more money. Nobody will exploit you for that. And it's just better. Oh, against the small lead. Call one with a backdoor flush draw. Full turn. $21.14, really tight. Okay, I will skip the king queen then. Calling, playing multi-way with my 8-7. Could also 3-bet. Let's roll the dice. 75, that sounds like a 3-bet to me. Also, if we make a hand with our 8-7 in 3-bet pot, people will never see it coming. This guy should be dead money. So yeah, let's see how much he's opening. 21, right? Seems fair. Get 4-bet again. Now he should be doing some 4-bet bluffing, have solid ranges, yada yada yada. 8-7 will always be a call, but obviously we are not going to do that in these stakes. Let's see the flop. A little bit something. But yeah, these GTO defense and so on, I would just not do it. Because if people just like be playing honest and always have like queens plus, what do you want with your 8-7? What do you want to hit, your 8 or your 7? Right? Doesn't make sense. So very, very tight against 4 bets. Queen 6. Not interested. Holy shit, this guy plays some hands. It's Friday, no? Today is Friday. Shouldn't there be any like cash drops or something? Hello. GG. See betting this, can barrel on a 4, on a 7, a deuce, an ace. And since I'm gonna triple barrel this, I try to keep ranges wide. So I will bet the turn again. Snap call seems weak to me. Timing, etc. Oh, what is that river? What can we make fold? Like queen 10 of spades? Fuck that river. Seriously. You win, sir. Pocket queens. Ah, yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Blind versus blind calling. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Holy moly. Some guys have interesting preflop ranges. I saw kings flat against our under the gun open. I saw queens flat. Big blind versus small blind. Like, what is happening, boys? Okay, let's see how big you want to go. 14, 15. Yeah, why not? Snap call from a tight guy. Not so good. But the flop is pretty good. Pretty fucking good. Can bet small here. Just like this. Pray he has ace queen. But probably get a snap fold pretty often. Alright. Alright. So now we go like this and jam. We could also do some checking on the river. This one, kind of whatever. Because if you have the ace and the king, what are people really going to have, right? Not much. So trapping here on the river would be good. Let's see, we are very, very, very deep. So I will keep this a little bit on the cautious side. And so deep, offsuit hands are not playing that well in a very, very big pot. So it's okay to call these hands. 100 big blinds always 4-bet. And here, let's see. If I check raise, does he fold like queens without a spade? Let's try. If he has the same hand with a king of spades, he's also going nowhere, so I get money in against that. And even if he has a flush, he's probably not going to raise, which makes us see a lot of cards and realize our equity, which is great. Decent run out. So yeah, always thinking about like, what am I trying to do? What am I trying to accomplish with raising? What good things are happening for me? Jack 9 suited. Count me in. I can't think of a better hand, mighty way, to see a flop with. If this guy 3-bets, I'm gonna close GG poker, end of the video. Thank God. Sometimes you just have that little feeling, you know, that little, it's tingling somewhere, right? You have a hand, you have a flop in mind, kaboom. This guy seems interested too, so raise it up. I should go a little bit bigger. I haven't seen this stack. He sets on a 2-pair flush draw, combo draw most of the time. We'll get a lot of value from that. Super clean run out 2, but happy to take it down. Let's see, 3-bet is 11, seems reasonable, so I'm gonna call. Can also 4-bet bluff this a little bit. 94. All right, for 94 we have to put this into 4-bet. If he 3-bets 11, he will have bluffs, small blind versus cutoff. So yeah, and if you want to bluff some hands, some ace-9 suited is good. Some ace-queen off, king-9 suited. Get it through. Pew, 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 pew. And against someone who just 3-bets 5%, I cannot be bothered to even try. But 11 seems kind of reasonable, so yeah. Monotone boards, just bet full range small, will work great. Pile solver would puke into a bucket, but we don't care. Against half pot, I have pretty decent backdoors. Probably want to do something like queen jack. And half pot seems big. I'm gonna skip this one. Yeah, I'm just gonna check down the a7. You can have something like queen 4 with the queen of hearts. So we're not always losing this. Told you. Very good, very nice. He needs to bluff this, but people just don't. And if they miss all the obvious bluffs, then all the bluff catching you do, like all of it, is going to be bad. Period. So just don't. And wait for someone who just donates you a stack. Get on your horse, ride off into the sunset. He is kind of wild. 12 hands. Fair enough. Betting the flop. Having the ace of hearts is actually not that great, because I want to have in my hand like ace deuce of hearts that can call an overbet. So I'm gonna size down a little bit. Queen jack against under the gun. I think against any normal size I will raise this one. Yeah, half pot qualifies. If he goes pot or something, I would be more careful, because people are always like, again, honest in sizings, but half pot could literally be anything. Not the turn card I would have liked to do. If they're bad call flops, they usually have something. And the 3 is not really scary for him. And also, if you look at ranges, the 3 is also never improving me, because I don't have hands like 8-3, right? A 7 would be way better, because I have 6-5. I have maybe some 4-7 curveballs in there. Some 7-9, some jack, a heart would be great. But a 3 is just doing nothing. And also my hearts are not really blocking the 10. So this is a good hand to give up. Big 3-bet. 2% 3-bet, but only 160 hands. I will call and proceed with extreme caution here. If it's ace king 10, I'm gonna puke into a bucket. Are we disconnected? Ah, there we go. And probably check folding the flop, even though we have an overpair, right? Yeah, and against this sizing, it doesn't exist, especially on a board where potentially we can have 2 pairs, sets, straights, yada yada yada. So this is the easiest flop fold in the board. If you can manage to find those, printing. Money that you don't lose is money won. So you're just puzzling it together, basically. Very tight preflop, big preflop size, bombs a flop that's really bad for him. Easy decision. Kind of. Could raise, could call, both fine. He seems a little bit wild, so I give him some rope. That's a flash. Now, what people are usually doing is they either check the flop or they bluff turn and then give up river. I checked, I misclicked, I wanted to bet this. God damn it. Maybe it works out though. Maybe works out though. Bluff your queen 10 of hearts. Can I raise against this? Like 1/3 in position is a clear sizing tell that he's bluffing. Because people size down in position to buy the pot cheaply. I could raise this. I'm gonna call for signs just to show the bluff. Not quite a bluff. Should have went with like the first read maybe to check raise. But usually sizing tells for in position betting on the river, only big sizes exist. So 75, 150, stuff like that. If they say size down, they just don't have it. Period. And all these sizing tells, hotspots, spots to exploit and how to do it, it is within our courses. The Crusher tier, the Champions tier, where I also play up to NL10K. You can watch that, learn from that. It's all in our courses. So what I'm doing here is exactly the same. That you can train and learn from the courses and actually understand like where it's coming from, what you want to do. Ooh, Queen 6, count me in. Lovely. Queen 3. I think I could check raise this. Especially against this sizing. Don't have to go super huge. Can barrel a 5, a club, a 6. Queen is live. And people bet folding too much. Do I believe this? Let's see. Let's see. I have clubs. Let's do some clickery-do here. Kind of have a feeling that something is not right here. Here, right? Right? The reasoning is, like I have more 4x, obviously, and we are 200 big blinds deep, and even with a 4, he wants to keep me bluffing. So it doesn't make too much sense to have a 3 betting range that is not completely full of shit. So yeah, and you can, like, if you have reads or like a gut feeling, I would trust that. And just see how it goes. Like going with intuition, with experience, with reads is a super underrated skill for poker players. Is this hand strong enough to overbet and go for stacks? It probably is. Especially not having like the 7 or 4 of diamonds. He can have every 4x of diamonds, every 7x of diamonds. That is like going nowhere. 6s again, we are going to try again with a 3 bet. Same procedure as before. Plays better heads up. This guy's dead money. Like we tried this like a 3rd time this video. I think we got 4 bet every single time. Let's see, it's 47. That's like a crazy price. I'm not calling anything to that. Poke 10s again. Also, if anyone is around for EPT Barcelona on late August, I think 20th or 19th to 31st or something, I will be there too. So if you see me around playing cash games or running around doing stupid stuff, grab a beer, come over, say hi. I'm always appreciating like meeting people out of the community. Because sometimes when I go on trips like that, I get messages after. Man, I saw you, but you looked so busy playing. I didn't want to disturb you. Just say hi. Like, I will have time for a good talk most of the time. Unless I'm in the middle of a hand or something, but that's kind of obvious. So please feel free to just like reach out to say hi. We check this down and we lose to an unexpected better ace high. Oof. 7. Adios. Pocket 9s. Good fold. Always look at the flop, and if you didn't make your set, then it's a good fold. Ranges are just too tight. Usually defend. 18, 13, 300 hands. You could even consider calling this hand, right? Against a guy that is like super tight. Against another gun, there's even some calling in GTO. But yeah, 3-betting not a mistake. First cash drop. Let's go. That's all us. All us. Oh yeah, baby. So let's see. Stacks. Pretty deep. I think limping is good. I don't think I have too much of a raising range in these positions. And let others do the raising and then jam over the top. Call would be nice. Then we have more dead money to collect. How much is in there? 20. Yeah, this is going to be a jam. He calls worse as well. Oh, big pot, let's go. Told you, calls worse. 3 times? Nope. Just once. That's all us. We can split with a 5, right? Yeah. That would be sick. Oh, it's a number, I think. Mm-hmm. Bing, 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 bing. Yeah. Yeah. Man, I'm messing around too much. But in general, I think you should enjoy your grind. It should be fun. This game is supposed to be fun. And if you don't have fun while playing, yeah, wouldn't be me. I can't play when I don't have some fun. Same for live games. Sometimes I go to the local casino, play some random 1-3 games, and then people are asking, what is this guy doing? He plays like high stakes online. How is he like playing a 1-3 game in his local casino? Man, because I love the game. Sometimes you just want to like see cards, shuffle chips, talk to people, do some stupid shit, right? But I bet this again. I could check this hand too, it's kind of whatever. But I think the way people play, I'm going to bet again and then take a free showdown. I think that's a little bit better. Now we have a triple barrel. And we win against all the king jacks, ace jacks. The question is, how much are they paying? We're going to go for the supermarket price of $3.99 as a special offer. Snap call is maybe good. No, it's not. But fair enough. We get calls from like 10x, jack x, and again, sometimes they have a better hand, but still like super easy value bet. Wouldn't think twice about this. Gut shot backdoor flush draw. Small lead again. No point really in raising. If he has a good hand, he goes nowhere and we just blow the pot with a bad hand. If he has a 9, we don't really look so great. This is a good price. I'm just going to try to make my hand here. And if it's a queen river and he checks, I could bluff and so on. King is close. And now I think I will just raise. Do I? Yeah. sounds good. Scare card for him. He can have hands like Queen Jack of Spades that plays that way that he now folds. So yeah, in general, kind of line weak, so bluffing is allowed. For us, we just take it. Seven! I think I will 3-bet this. Sorry. Alright, boys and girls, I think we are done with NL25. And the next step would be NL50. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Reach out if you're at EPT Barcelona. Let me know in the comments what you think, what you like to see, critique, or just some sweet, nice words are always appreciated, of course. But I can only do better if you tell me what you want to see, what I could do better in the videos. Thanks everyone for watching. Stay tuned for NL50. Follow us on Instagram. And much love. Peace and bye.